beliefs that shape our view. BX has got the facts for you. BX the storyteller, bringing the spark, no one does it better. BX, you've heard the rest, but she's the best, yeah, she's the best. From ancient tales to modern schemes, unraveling truths and chasing dreams. With every word.
Happy Valentine's Day. I'm fine. How are you? Thank you. So, I just spent some time with my children. We were talking about family history. They bought me pizza and chocolate, my favorite chocolate. Now, no Valentine's Day heart or nothing like that. So they bought me my Snickers that I'm always chewing on behind, the scenes. And that's it. Then I created my prompt. I really like it. I really like my prompt. And I picked 3 foundational Black Americans to spotlight for Valentine's Day who were born actually on Valentine's Day. Now, Frederick Douglass is a little different. Let me go ahead and turn this down some. So he's not sure of his, and that prompt is kind of small, so I probably have to read from the computer. But he wasn't sure of his birthday, but he picked February 14th because his mother used to call him Little Valentine. So. And since I never heard of Moneta Sleep Jr., yeah, that's true. More than one resource said it. I looked into him to see if he was actually foundational Black American. But for now, that's what the resources are leading to. And he was a civil rights photojournalist who won a Pulitzer Prize. So, we do know Frederick Douglass is was an abolitionist, author, journalist, and an orator. And Charlotta Amanda Bass. I heard the name Bass, and I was like, I wonder if Karen Bass has some descendancy from her. But she is a Black American, a foundational Black American born in South Carolina, an educator, journalist, and an activist. Now, one resource did say that she was a feminist, but I haven't explored that angle. So for right now, I just put activist. And it goes into her being like having 11 siblings and things of that nature. So I'm gonna pull up, and she was the first Black American nominated to be vice president. And what does it say? Representing the Progressive Party or Progression Party. The print's kind of small, but I have my computer next to me. I know people are busy. I think FBA Red was doing like a Valentine special, but my daughter was on her way, so I didn't want to get caught up on the platform. So she came, brought us pizza and stuff, and now she left. So I figured let me go live for Valentine's Day and see who'll stop by. So it's still destroying the narrative of Tetherville for National Black History Month 2026. But I want to do the Valentine's Day edition. I think that's pretty cool to see who was born on Valentine's Day, who was influential to us, right? If you're free, you can request up Black American House, and we could discuss this or anything else that you want to talk about. Hybrid Capricorn. So there are some things that I want to discuss. I just had a premiere of the live I did with Basic, and I still have to research Albert Murray, who is a novelist and things like that. So we have so much history. And I noticed that the people that I'm choosing are authors or journalists too. So that's pretty cool. That's the way, I'm being guided to talk about. But I like when other people come up and then they provide their insight. I'm going to have to message Dred on Instagram and see if he's free to come over because he missed the premiere on YouTube. So and he's my moderator. I tell you, him and Simon are going to get blocked soon. They are. I mean, everybody else has gotten blocked. They could join the block party, you know. So I'm going to give everybody a few more minutes to come in and see which way the convo will go. Or I'll continue monologuing and talking to you. Hey, Bombay. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody just passing through the room. So if y'all are still in the room, I chose to spotlight 3 professional or instrumental foundational Black Americans who were born on Valentine's Day. I thought that'd be cute. I know I could be kind of corny sometimes, but Frederick Douglass, I put him on there because it's not certain that he was born on Valentine's Day, but his mother did used to call him Little Valentine, and so he chose that day. And resources have a year for him. What is it? Well, they say it's 1818, but I think there was some discrepancy there. Thank you, Bombay. But you do know when you're doing genealogy, you take off or you add on a certain amount of years. So even if the year looks off, but everything else is correct, then you found your ancestor, right? And I ain't going to be giving out too many tips because a lot of people like to take our information and act like they us, right? Also, everybody's being warned, coming out of Illinois, there is an African group that's trying to get people to test with their DNA to see if they match. And during this time and place and space we're in, I wouldn't volunteer to do none of that, right? Thank you, Chris. Happy Valentine's Day to you. I wouldn't volunteer to do any of that. However, the freedmen, we can't stop everybody. So it's not like they're getting information on off of 23andMe, Ancestry, FTDNA, MyHeritage. This is something that they want you to do with them. There are like family group projects from FTDNA that you test with, and everybody knows, and they sign all types of consent forms and stuff, and it's from a more reputable site. These people are just popping up, and they're like, one was made like the queen of, I want to say Ghana, a tribe over there. So they're like of the lineage, maybe not all of them, but of the lineage, strong Pan Africans. And while their intentions may be good, I can't say that they are, or that they're not. I don't think now's the time to go volunteering your DNA. Now, if it's already up there, there's nothing we could do about it. But to specifically go with them and volunteer your DNA after you done took so many other tests, what's going to change now? What's going to change now? You ain't matching no
Right.
Africans, right? Right, Black American House?
Right. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I guess I think there is a way that you can have your DNA removed from those different. I think there is a law that recently passed in the past few years where you can have your DNA removed. I forgot exactly how it's done though. You have to do like a request form, but I don't know if that's really foolproof though, because especially for people who have done it within like the past 10 years, I don't know if it really means anything.
Right. But I took my test in 2014, right? I'm
Okay,
over
okay.
them. And I think I took mine off a jet match. But other than that, I'm not volunteering for no new projects. It is what it is. I'm Black American. And if I had any ancestors on the continent, they're no longer African. That tribe is no longer there. I'm
It's
not
no
messing with
longer.
Igbo, huh?
It's no longer there because a lot they became their own country.
Yep.
And our people who were there on those lands, they weren't a part of the creation or even the division when Europeans came and divided up Africa to different European nations. We like our ancestors weren't even there, and that's what kind of it baffles me why no one because I've had conversations with folks from the Caribbean as well, like why, or in Latin America, as to why it's not as many conversations about Pan-Africanism. Like the most I would probably say that if there's any is Brazil, but outside of there, and it's really not like as much of a conversation as it is in America, when it comes to Pan Africanism as it is here. But they will make it as if we're supposed to have the focus only on Africa when a lot of people here have mixed ancestry.
Hey, Professor
Whether
Alon. Um, Fresh, did you want to come up? Because I saw the request and then the request was gone. I know sometimes I hit it by accident too, but you're perfectly welcome to. So this is my Valentine's Day edition. I picked three Black Americans who were actually born on Valentine's Day. Now I never really heard the name Monita Sleet Jr. And I did look to see if he was like maybe Afro Caribbean because I know during a certain time they were migrating here. But okay, thank you, Fresh, no problem. So far, he's Black American, so I did put him up there. He's a first Black American to win a Pulitzer Prize, and he was a photojournalist, especially during the times of our civil rights movements and stuff. And we all know Frederick Douglass, right? Got to put the great ancestor there. Um, And so it's not certain that he was actually born on February 14th, but his mother used to call him Little Valentine. And so that's the day that he chose to celebrate his birthday. Charlotta Amanda Bass is an educator, journalist, and activist. Now, they did list her as a feminist on one resource, but I opted to leave that off because I didn't cross reference it. And she was the first Black American to be nominated for vice president under the, I think they said, Progressive Party. And she did wind up marrying a man from California, and she wound up transitioning there too. So I'm wondering if Karen Bass has any type of descendancy from Charlotta. That would be interesting because Karen Bass is bi-ethnic or multi-ethnic, correct?
Is she?
Yeah, well, I know she has like a Mexican, some type of, you know, Latino great grandparent or something like
Oh
that.
wow. I didn't
Hmm.
even know
She's
that.
just black presenting.
Wow. Oh my
Hmm.
God. When I
Yeah.
tell you, we have so many cosplayers that be
Oh,
walking around,
Colombian. Thank you, Fresh.
that be
She's
walking.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Or Cuba. Okay. Yeah. Go
Wow.
ahead. Go ahead.
When I tell we have so many people who are walking amongst us and acting as if they are a Black American. Cause I've
No, wait,
even
wait, though. Wait. Because a lot of people, so there are people who want everybody to have four grandparents, and that would make, is it four, two, four? And that would make them full foundational, right? Black Americans. But
mhm.
there are others who may be a three and one. They have a grandparent from somewhere else, but those people can be off code. That's what I think is going on with Karen Bass. So she does have some Black American descendancy, but she loves
Okay.
her grandfather's lineage a little bit too much. I don't believe that
Well,
she's a cosplayer. I just
okay.
think she's like off cold, but that's just me. Black Vanguard to come in
Oh.
and give us more information about her.
Yeah, I know he know because he out there in Cali.
Hmm.
I guess I need to ask my cousin because I have family on both sides actually that are out there in California, different parts of California. I have a cousin that lives in LA. That's on my mom's side. Well, actually, I got a few cousins that live out there from my mom's side
Iceland.
from LA.
Hmm.
And then I think it was my great grandmother. She had a daughter that moved out there and probably like it was like the 50s, I think. It was something like that. It was like the 50s or 60s. And
I took
then,
her now.
but I know I got family that's out there on both sides, though. I just need to try to reconnect. I just, it's kind of mysterious with knowing who is all out there because I don't even think my grandfather even has talked to any of that side of the family in a long time either. And
Um,
now he's dealing with dementia, so I don't even know if he's even going to be able to even do that either. It would probably be someone like me that would have to do that. So,
yeah. Well, get in touch with your elders because I got to tell you, right? So my grandmothers, they gave me the family history, the basis of it, right? But
hmm.
they're gone now, and we now have so many questions. That's why. And so, who's the elder? My father, and he's so laid back. And then he's 80, so some of his memory, he'd be like, "I don't remember that," and I'd be like, "Daddy, you don't remember?" So I am dealing with an aging parent. But for the most part, he's pretty sharp, pretty active. Travels all over the city. Even works a few days out the week, or you know what I'm saying? Because I believe he's an elder that if they just sit down and fully retire, don't do anything, any type of work, he'll get sick. You know how
Oh
the elders have
wow,
to be active. I was just talking
yeah.
to my son about that earlier. Like my dad just has to be active. Where you going? Oh, I'm going to Far Rockaway. I'm going to see Linda today. Oh, I'm going to Far. I'm going. Yeah, I'm going to Brooklyn today. You know. But as far as working, he had like one or two clients, and that's it. You know. But I think he's one of the elders that would get sick if he had to fully sit down, right? With that said,
Yeah.
though, sometimes his memory isn't as sharp. So when I'm telling a piece of the history, a memory from childhood, and he just doesn't understand, and I'm like, it could get frustrating. But for the most part, he's pretty cool. He's okay, very
Okay.
active man. I think besides the memory loss, and I got it too at 51. So, hey, Dread. Um, I think he's healthier than me. He says that he says he feels very blessed that he's not like everybody else that has to take a bunch of medicine for high blood pressure, medicine for whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my great grandmother, and that was what was so crazy because she was almost like a little bit of a wild child. My great grandmother, from a real small town. I don't know if you even heard of it, called Hogansville, Georgia, and
Hey, Dad. You want to come up,
every
Dre,
time.
for Valentine's edition? Go ahead. I'm listening.
Oh no, it was okay. How are you doing, Dred?
I won't try to match make you today, Dre. I tried to match make him with a very beautiful woman, and I think it was him. He dropped the ball. Hmm. I think he dropped the ball. Hmm. But go ahead, I'm listening.
I know,
He
like
ain't gonna
every
come up
time.
nothing. Go ahead. He said doing good,
Oh,
just chilling.
okay. Oh, I know, like every time, and this was like this had to. I can't believe this. Almost that was like, 'cause that was like 2006 and seven. Um, when I know a lot of times whenever we would like go out anywhere to eat, the first thing she would all even ask me, do they have like a wine menu or anything? She was like, it just kind of baffled me because, like, mind you, she was like in her 90s then, trying to get to wine me. Oh, but between that and um some of the different stories about her, like when she was younger, because she was very light skinned, her and her sister, and times where like in the small town that she was in, some people thought that she might could have been white, and the times I think it was one particular time with her husband, that she married later on. He was a very, very dark skinned guy, and they, whenever they would get stopped by the police, they would initially think that she was a white woman, and they were about to have a lot more issues, and sometimes that did happen, but where it got more so heated because just due to being in a real small country town in Georgia. Um, but she was a handful. But I do miss her though, because I
Yeah.
think she passed away. That was in like 2009 or 10.
Hmm.
Um, but she had so many like interesting stories. I will say her memory was fairly good for somebody at her age before
Yeah.
she passed away. I mean, she what was so interesting was like her like having the alcohol, and she would eat just anything. But I know like right before, like probably like the year or so before she passed away, she really wasn't eating a lot, but before that she was just eating just any and everything. And she was like just like sticking about this. Just bones. She was really, really skinny. I need
I'm
to.
sorry, I had stepped away from my phone. So my grandmother was very weight conscious, and
Hmm.
so she would eat. She didn't eat like she used to when I was growing up. A lot of things was about.
I can't hear anything. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I
Yes,
can
I
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Can y'all
I
hear
guess
me? I
I got
can't
to
hear nothing.
comment.
Hey.
I got my Bluetooth connected. I gotta disconnect though.
Yeah. So, but when at the end of her life, because she did transition from breast cancer,
Oh, I'm
we
sorry to
went,
hear.
yeah, and she had home hospice. Thank you. She had home hospice, but other than that, her mind was sharp and everything. It's just her body deteriorated because of the cancer. So you see the hospice worker feeding her and stuff like that, or we'd feed her. Well, I didn't want to feed her, you know.
Hmm.
I just really couldn't. I just used to sit there, really. But yeah. So she didn't have the problem with losing her memory. You know what she had a problem with? Being too blunt. Before she became, wheelchair ridden or bedridden, like her daughters really used to tell her, Ma, you can't, don't talk to everybody like that. Cause she'll go over there to them now, that don't look good on you. Or don't you treat that baby like that. Like she just go over there and start talking to people but there was
Hmm.
a time that it was safe to do that. Mm-mm. I don't think anybody's trying to tell anybody what they should or shouldn't be doing unless they are asked the question. But yeah, shout out to the grannies, right? And the great grandmothers and stuff like that, the elders, the ancestors, all of that. Um,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Drag, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I hear y'all now.
Okay, so if you look at my prompt, I did the Valentine's Day edition. I thought my mindset behind it was foundational Black Americans who were, very instrumental activists, master teachers, or, of that ilk who were born on Valentine's Day. So we have Monita Sleet Jr. I did look into him because I never heard the surname Sleet for anybody before. But then again, I don't know all 50 million of us. So all roads lead to him being foundational Black American. He was a photojournalist and the first Black American Pulitzer Prize winner who actually was a civil rights photojournalist, right? Of course, we know the great ancestor Frederick Douglass, abolitionist, author, journalist, and orator. Would you say that Frederick Douglass was a master teacher? Yeah, right?
Um, Me myself personally,
Yeah,
um,
would you
I,
say it?
I wouldn't know honestly. What I know of Frederick Douglass, is about his abolitionist work, and also um, his push against the American colonization society and basically or expatriating um, from America to Africa. I haven't read any of his books or anything like that. So don't give me the line.
Uh-huh. Okay, no problem, no problem. Maybe I'll edit that down. I don't know. But it makes for a good. And then we have Charlotta Amanda Bass. She's an FBA educator, journalist, and activist. Now, one resource did list her as a feminist, but I didn't cross reference it. It was only one resource out of probably the three that they pulled up. So I left it at activist. She was also the first Black American woman to be nominated for vice president under the Progressive Party. She was born in South Carolina. She was going to be the focus, but then I was like, how could I leave off Frederick Douglass? How could I leave off the other man if he's really foundational Black American? No problem, Dred. Hi, Mila. So that's why her picture and stuff is so big up there, over there. And I looked it up. And she did wind up in California, and she was married to she got married and she transitioned in California. So I did look up real fast if Karen Bass is a descendant of Charlotta Amanda Bass, and here's the results. No, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass is not a descendant or related to Charlotta Amanda Bass, often referred to as Charlotta Spears Bass. While both women share the last name, are prominent, and they got this word here, y'all, African American political figures in California history and are
Oh Lord.
associated with Los Angeles. They are not related. Oh. Charlotta Bass, born 1874 and transitioned in 1969, was a journalist, educator, and activist who was the first black woman to run for vice president of the United States. Karen Bass, they have born 1953, is the current mayor of Los Angeles, a former Speaker of the California Assembly, and a former member of the U.S. House of Representatives. What happened there? Why is she former? Oh, because she took mayor somewhere else?
No, she was a congressperson. Then she left her job as a congressperson to become the mayor.
They don't have. How long she been mayor over there? Seems like she been mayor forever, just messing stuff up.
Oh no, she was. It was fairly recent that she was like in Congress. I remember her being in Congress.
Okay. Let me see. I want to know if she has, because they be listing everybody as black or as African American, and they don't
Hmm.
be African American. Okay, so they say no, she's not. She's an American citizen. Career building. Let's just see her Latino. Because she is black presenting. I guess to say. Never thought I would have to say black presenting before.
Now, if she like is on the, I guess the Hispanic side,
Thank you
that's
for beginning.
Colombia.
No, I'm reading it now because they said she's not Colombian. That was the first thing. So I do see Mexico. She has a Mexican grandfather. So what it says is based on available information, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass has not publicly stated that she has Latino great grandparents. However, she has spoken about having Mexican heritage in her family history. Mexican grandfather in a 2018 social media post, Bass mentioned her grandfather, Salvador, that was his name, came to the U.S. from Mexico as a child and later fought for the U.S. in World War II. Latino black family. She has described her blended family as Latino black, and she is close with her adult stepchildren who are of Mexican descent. Background: Karen Bass was born in Los Angeles to Wilhelmina and DeWitt Talmadge Bass. While she has familial ties to Mexico, her grandfather and blended family, there is no evidence in the provided search result confirming specifically that her great grandparents were Latino.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Cause she don't speak Spanish, no, anything. I guess it's just to bring up that she different than us.
I don't know, but the affinity that these people have for the immigrants is weird, especially if
Hmm.
they're Black American. Like, you know what I noticed? Yvette Clark is co-chair of the Caribbean Caucus, but head chair on the Black Caucus. Does that make sense? You went on mute. Why you go on mute? No answer, right? Isn't it perplexing? And then they get the history wrong. So, what part am I up to? I think I'm up to part four of my diving into the things that Yvette Clark has been up to and the harms of it. So pretty soon it will go into why her policy, even if they say, if it says that she's advocating just for us, is basically based off of Pan African ideology, and why it's harmful to have a Jamaican immigrant speak for foundational Black Americans. Now, I didn't tell it what to say. I just said why is a Jamaican immigrant speaking for Black Americans deemed to be harmful. And it's coming up with some really good stuff that I say is on the money. So I'll be putting that up. I'll be trying to be serious, but the jokes just be writing themselves in my head. And I'm not really comedic. So when I say them, I be cracking myself up. And I know other people be like, what's wrong with me? It just be funny because I was reading all the money she was getting or something that she was doing for us. And I was like, I hope she buy them beaches back first. But other people probably wouldn't find that funny. You know what I did for the first time? Because I take for granted my children just know shit, right? So I grabbed the family book that my cousin wrote, right? From North Carolina, right? I don't want to give the names. But so we come from in North Carolina, Pamlico, right? New Bern, like, and so we have family throughout because Shadow Band, I forgot where his Samson. And see, the thing is, I'm not familiar with the way it's set up. So one time would be named something, but then it's renamed something else, something like that. Or I'm not familiar with the how close and direct it is. Because it's like one day I was talking to this lady from South Carolina and she was saying Berkeley, South Carolina. And I was like, well, I'm saying that my grandmother and my ancestors come from Monk's Corner and Charleston, South Carolina. She was like, yeah, that's Berkeley. Like one of those are Berkeley. I'm like, oh, okay. But anyway, I said all of that to say this. So I took the family book that my cousin wrote, right? And I was showing them everything, how we connect to this person, that person, this person, that person, telling them to get the book. And I really had to describe to them how I was reclassified in 1988. Yeah, I was 13. When I was 13 years old. Because my youngest son was like, oh, I thought it was always like, Black American, not Black American, African American has been around a long time. I was like, no, it's fairly new. I was 13 when they reclassified me. So we had a really good visit for Valentine's Day, and I got some chocolate, y'all. So they got to know more and remember, they know their great grandmother. Their great grandmother passed when my youngest had to be 11, which means my oldest was going on 18. So they know their great grandmother. So there's a lot of things that I kind of took for granted. But during this time, I was like, damn, how can I sit here and teach everybody else but not my children? So they got how we were reclassified from Black to African American. But I told them to get their original birth certificate so that way I could see what race is on theirs. Because I know I ain't got no African American on mine. And on mine it says Black. But on the copies that they have now, it doesn't say no race. It doesn't say no ethnicity. It doesn't say anything. So I find I have a problem with that. Putting on our certificates where we are, damn it. Especially when reparations is coming up. That's just me though. So yeah, please don't assume that people just know everything because you know everything. Reach out and ask what they know, especially if they buy ethnic, damn it. But then again, I raised them in New York when we were operating off of flat blackness. So if I say, yeah, I'm Black, then they just took it, yeah, we Black. But now I have to differentiate the Caribbean from us, which they understand it. But I mean, as far as classification, right? Because my daughter know enough to call me and say, I've been eating too much Jamaican food. I've been over here for the past week. Can you make me, you know what I'm saying? So, gotta make sure they're equipped with the tools, especially since I'm not always going to be around them. That's all. Y'all could basically change the conversation to what you want. I just wanted to spotlight those great ancestors for National Black History Month. Can y'all hear me? Y'all are both on the call. And I sat here and put a, some candy, started chewing. But okay. As soon as y'all finish, you're multitasking. Okay. Dred just said he have a call too. I'm chewing and I'm trying to brush so that I could talk. It's funny. Does anybody know, like on YouTube, if somebody comes into the room, can I pull them up and we just be on a live together on YouTube? I think I should take my vent sessions over there. I got to curse over there. I like to curse. You could come and guess, Mr. Multitasker. Or no. It was so freeing. I didn't have to say on the live and worry about the live going down. I don't recommend that I keep doing that though. Well, if y'all busy and stuff and nobody else is coming through, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. But I thank y'all for joining me at this time. This was my Valentine's Day edition, and I'll probably come back Monday. But it's likely to be more engagement. Everybody's probably out rubber dubbing and slow whining and grinding on their Valentine's Day. Thank you, y'all. I appreciate you. Thank you, Are You On Code? I keep missing your lives.
Okay.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day to you too. Are You On Code? So, while you quickly in the room, this is my Valentine's Day edition, and my mindset was to spotlight three foundational Black Americans who were born on Valentine's Day. So you have Charlotta Amanda Bass, an FBA educator, journalist, and activist. Frederick Douglass, of course, we all know him, an FBA abolitionist, author, journalist, and orator. And Monita Sleep Jr., FBA photojournalist, and first Black American Pulitzer Prize winner. So I just wanted to put that out there before I end the live. And since you were coming in, my prompt is based off of destroying the narrative of Tetherville. It's designed to help bring the oh, you've been shadow banned. Sorry to hear that. A lot of us are.
Yeah.
So one of my main titles right there, destroying the narrative of Tetherville, is just spotlighting foundational Black Americans who were instrumental in the building of New York and in the community as a whole, right? So Frederick Douglass actually did have ties to New York, if not mistaken. Not meaning that he was born there or anything, but visit, live here for a while. I got to look into that. But today, they're not necessarily from New York. Bass is from South Carolina, and she transitioned to California. Then there's Frederick Douglass, and I'm trying to read the thing real fast, y'all. Forgive me. I forgot where he was born. But here's the thing for me. I'll be back on highlighting New York FBA, who were very instrumental. Of course, it won't be stuck there, but we got to destroy this narrative that the Tethers built New York, because they damn sure didn't. They really
They did not.
And if you want to know more about New York and the first families of New York who helped form it, meaning the early settlers and the Black Americans, you got to go to Thorough Black Talk Worldview on YouTube or even here on TikTok. You'll see me say, "Hi, Sister Keisha." That's her. Her lives are beautiful, very informative, and she doesn't just stick locally to New York. She talks about things in Africa and stuff like that because she's a former Pan African, but she was really in the movement, really on news stations for doing the work, right? For the lineage, but from a Pan African view. Now she says that she's an on-code FBA, and I just love her, very educated. So y'all be sure to follow her. You'll also see her speaking at the New York reparations hearings, talking about the kidnapping clubs. The movie 12 Years a Slave was a real life story based off of those kidnapping clubs here in New York. And her family, her ancestor, was a victim of one of those um, instances that happened during those times from the kidnapping club. So,
Wow.
yeah, she talks about it. Please follow her. And again, I want to say this, our history doesn't fit in just a month. So right now we are celebrating National Black History Month 2026. However, I do have spotlights called National Black History 365, meaning 365 days a week. And I think I started emphasizing the Black American part of it. Let me end with this too. I don't want to hear about no Black diaspora. Black Americans have a diaspora of our own. The African diaspora is just that. The Caribbeans, which I showed in one of those videos that I posted recently, has a diaspora of their own. The Puerto Ricans have delineated from the Hispanics, right? And
Hmm.
nobody catches no heat for how they say anything about their people, their diaspora, or their delineation. But everybody got something to say about foundational Black Americans. So I don't feel no way about delineating from them because all of these groups prove they did it first. But guess what? We do it better. And that's why everybody crashing out on us, right? We're the greatest comeback kids there are. And with that said, peace, love, light, and reparations. Thank you for all the gifts. And y'all can catch me on another panel cutting up or something, but it's sure to be a good time. Enjoy your Valentine's Day. Cause I know y'all over there, what they call that? Pillow talking, sweet talking.
Oh
Somebody on the
Lord.
other end while I'm over here trying to be educational.
Ooh.
Ain't that about a bitch? Mm-hmm. That's a saying, y'all. I ain't calling nobody a bitch in real life. Ain't that about it? That's a saying. I love y'all though, and I thank y'all for the support.
Love
I'm gonna
you
go see
too.
who's live and go either go in and get educated or go in and cut up a little bit, depending on the room and the temperature. I'm not gonna keep y'all here all day. Peace.
Peace. Take
Be
care.
Yup. Take care. Be one family.
Be one.